Shalom, Israel. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops at Great Millstone. And peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the prophets, the hopeful elect, the 144,000. And to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this one, Protect My Life from My Enemies. Protect my life from my enemies. Call halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Call halal, Yimla, Alahayanawa, Abanawa, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And something that's on my spirit, and as the title reads, protect my life from my enemies. And that everybody has enemies. Everybody. And we see the plot, the plot thickens. The secret counsel of the wicked. Starting with Esau, Edom, the so-called white folks. You seen today the whole breaking news, the situation down there in Dallas, Texas. The whole shooting at the ICE, facility, and two ICE detainees, got killed, and one is in serious, in critical condition. And we know Esau is itching. He is itching to bring, to bring forth this chaos. He needs chaos in order to establish, this new system, this new draconian, tyrannical system that's coming. Order out chaos, order out of chaos. That's the only way he's going to be able to establish his new system. And, they had on those bullets that were fired, anti-ICE, it's going there, man. It's going there, and it's only going to get more violent. It's only going to get more violent. And the shooter, the law enforcement, they killed the shooter, supposedly. But there's so much deception and trickiness that's going on. This is why you gotta pay attention. The worst is yet to come. The worst is yet to come. This is why you gotta keep you gotta be focused at this point, man. You gotta be in the scriptures, locked in, because something can happen at any time. You see Donald Trump, at that UN meeting, he's telling Europe to basically close their borders. Because it's so much traffic coming in, supposedly, with all these migrants or refugees and stuff like that. And this is what Esau is trying to do, to just totally lock down the planet. Ultimately, this place, the U.S. But it's gonna get so violent out here, man. But let me go here. Call halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. It's gonna get extremely, extremely violent. It's gonna go to a whole nother level that the world has never seen. Let me go here. Psalm. This will be a quick hit, something that's on my spirit. But it reads, it says Psalm 64 and 1. Psalm 64 and 1, and it reads, it says, hear my voice, O Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, in my prayer. Preserve my life. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. See? And we know Esau, Edom, the so-called white folks, that's the Lord's number one, the nation of Edom. That is the Lord's number one enemy. They are the physical counterpart of Satan. They're showing their horns right now, man. They're in rulership. They dictate policy in Congress. But it says, preserve my life from fear of the enemy. See? It says, too, it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. And this is what they do. These, your UN meetings, your G5 summits, they come together and they plot. They're plotting. Secret counsel. Strategically plotting to, on different ways to, for them to go through, with their wickedness. And there's some wicked shit that's going on, man. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. See? The workers of iniquity. It says 3. It says, who whet their tongue like a sword. It says, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. See? It says 4. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. And we know ultimately, overall, this is to the Lord's people. But, that's overall. But ultimately, the Lord's elect, his remnant, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. 5, it says, they encourage themselves. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? See? They say, who shall see them? 6, it says, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. And this is what Esau do, man. See? They run different tests and, different schemes and false flags and things like that, and see how people react. And, Esau is, he's making his move right now. The worst is yet to come. He's making his move. We know World War III is coming. And before that is that Micro C him. You see? And civil war is on the rise. Civil war. Martial law. Let me go here. Matter of fact, yeah. Let me go here. Let me go to Proverbs. 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 What is that? Proverbs 8 and 12. And it reads, it says, I wisdom dwell with prudence. Prudence, wisdom, using wisdom, being cautious, staying alert, man. It says, I wisdom dwell with prudence and find out knowledge of witty inventions. Right. Those witty inventions. All the schemes and plots that this devil was trying to bring, man. The whole C-19, this whole digital currency, this micro C-HIP, his unrighteous decrees. The prudent see right through it. They see it. Let me, matter of fact, I'll close out with this. Let me go here. I'll close out with this. 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra 16. Second Ezra 16 and 37, and it reads, actually, I'll go here. 2nd Ezra 16 and 39. And it reads, it says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. 40, it says, O my people, this is to Jake, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, to the tribes. And we know the Hebrew Israelites were scattered into every single nation on earth. And some of us look like the other nations. Some of us look like the so-called Chinese or Arabic or Edomites, but this is all based on the spirit and ultimately what your father is. Does your father's seed line go back to Jacob? But it says, "O my people, listen up, hear my word." And the Lord has set up the men out of his people. You can't go to nowhere else to get this 144% truth. Starting with the apostles on down here at Great Millstone, starting with the men out of the Lord's people. You can't go to the other nations and get this gospel. You got to come to the Hebrew Israelites. Period. It says the Lord. So the Lord has set up the men out of his people, the teachers, the prophets, not the women, the men. The men. It says, "O my people, hear my word." Hear. The Lord tell you, he that hath an ear, let him hear. Listen up. Hear my word. It says, "Make you ready to the battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth." Be ready to move around. Be ready to move around, man. Because things are going to get uncomfortable as we get deeper into Jacob's trouble, leading up into the Holy Mashiach, the Lord's second return. Be ready to move around and be, stay alert, stay locked in. Can constantly keep praying, fasting as much as you can, and calling on that name, Yahawah, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Shalom.